Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the market close. What what a big difference a few days can make. Our last market close on Friday, we were in the middle of another Trump panic on the market, and oh boy, it plummeted. We had a great buy the dip opportunity, but then came the beginning of this week. Then came the beginning of this week, and I mentioned, I said that watch the U.S. market on Monday. If we got a recovery, then we'd be looking at a pretty quick recovery in Canada on Tuesday. So pretty much no buy the dip. No buy the dip on Tuesday if that happened. And that is exactly how it went down. The panic was over. Everything bounced back. Now today, today we took our recovery yesterday and we put it into overdrive. The TSX new all-time highs today, and there's a big player that's responsible for giving the TSX a real big shot in the arm today, and that's Shopify. Shopify had their earnings, and oh boy, they uh, they did well. They did a lot better than everybody thought they were going to do, and we're going to talk about that. We're going to look at the markets. Well, let's look at the markets now. Let's just zip on over. All right. This is the TSX. And look at this. Here is that Friday I was talking about as we started the month. We started it down. And by Tuesday, we're back up. I mean, this is fantastic. So you can see where this gap is. That's after hours. That's basically between yesterday and today. So today we're up here in the stratosphere. Holy boy, holy cow! It's pretty amazing. And you know what? I'm gonna just do a quick little shot here. This is Shopify. This is Shopify. Look at this gap. They quite literally jumped from 175 and that peaked up to $214. So we're talking roughly 20%. Roughly 20%. In fact, this move, this move, folks, it has made them the number one by market cap company in Canada. They have leapfrogged over the Royal Bank. So their market cap is now sitting at $273 billion. All right, we're gonna talk more about Shopify, but let's get back to the market. All right. So August, as you can see, we're off to a pretty well. We're not off to a good. We're off to a horrible start, but really great recovery. We're well above the blue line now. Definitely liking it. Looking at the U.S. market, not as not as nice as the Canadian market. They they're just a little bit above that blue line. So not as good, not as good. They are certainly having a green day, but they're only up 0.79% compared to our 1.10%. The Nasdaq, now the Nasdaq looking a lot better. They are above the line as well. They're up today 1.35%. Dow Jones also looking pretty good, up 0.27% above that blue line. The one market that is in the red is the Russell. These are our small caps, but they're still above the blue line. They're still above the blue line, but they are down 0.22 at this moment. Gold today down 0.26. Makes sense. Makes sense when the market's happy. People start to take that money back out of gold that they were stuffing in there when they were afraid that the sky was falling. I call that the penny little strategy to invest. Gold, yeah, silver a little bit flatter, up 0.06. Oil though, no boy, oil's just just dumping. Oil today down 1.41%. Now, mind you, OPEC did say they were going to increase production even more. So we're starting to see that this week in the price of oil. Um, this is a good week if you're looking to play HOD, that inverse oil ETF. Definitely a good week for that. Both Bitcoin and Ethereum up in the positive. All right, over to the heat map. Now, this heat map, Canada does not have a very strong technology sector. So a lot of times it doesn't get as well represented in the heat map as it should. Because I'll tell you right now, we're not seeing, we should have a giant green square here that says Shopify. We're not seeing that. We're not seeing it. Right now, we're seeing everybody else. Now, looking at, well, looking here in technology, routers, router, I guess we call it routers, they're down 10.16%. That's, I think, do believe that they had, let's pull them up here. And yeah, look at this big jump. You know what this says? This says earnings, and we'll pull them up on an advanced chart. Here we go. Oh, this is interesting. I'm seeing a green earnings call on routers, but so yeah, they did beat on earnings, but their revenue tanked, down 0.26%, under expectations. Definitely investors were not happy with what routers did today. So, oh boy, what can we do? All right, I think I can just close that like that. Yeah, all right. So that was routers for us. CP looking good. CP up 1.65%. So definitely liking that. Great West Life also up 3.36%. Looking at the US, technology doing okay. You've got Nvidia up 0.78. Apple having a pretty good day, up 5.44. You've got Amazon up 3.86. Tesla up 3.42. Now, I don't know where Larry is, but he said this is a week to be careful of Tesla. So we'll have to see if that plays out. But right now they are up 3.42%. Eli Lilly, they're down a little bit at 2.58%. All right, let's take a look at crypto. Pretty green on the crypto world. We got Bitcoin up 1.44, Ethereum up 2.91, Solana 3.36. Um, we've got Cardano up. Where is XRP in here? They're not showing up. They're in here. They're in here somewhere. But oh, here they are, right here. Duh, right, right in front of me. But yeah, XRP up 1.65%. Oh boy, not a bad day. Now there are there's a lot of crypto coins. There's a lot of crap coins. These are these little small coins. I like to just grab one I've never heard of before and take a look at it each day we do one of these market closes. Let's grab this one. What is this? Mint blockchain. Okay. I don't know what the Mint blockchain is. It, uh, it could be money or it could be about mint. I honestly just don't know, but they're having a bad day. They're down 11.33%. When it comes to these very, very, very small cryptos, these new little, these crap coins, you gotta be careful with them, folks. I'm not a fan of penny stocks, but I would feel a lot more comfortable with a penny stock than I would with one of these crap coins. So be careful. That's all I'm gonna say on this one. And don't know what mint does. Really, no idea. Obviously today it's not mint condition because it's down. It's down 11.33%. If you want to invest in crypto, there's money to be made there, but stick to your Bitcoins, your Ethereums, your Solana, your XRP, and yes, even your Dogecoin. Those ones are you're not going to lose money. But if you do go into one of those crap coins, read the white paper. Make sure that you know what that coin does and that you have confidence in what that coin does. Whew. All right, now it's time to get back to you guys. We get about 4.5 minutes until the bell. All right. Jim is in the house first. I am here, followed by Paul or Jim. Jonathan is on time. Yes, I was actually about 30 seconds late. Mary says hi. And guys, Mary is our unofficial captain of our official captain of the like button. So if you haven't hit that like button yet, just do the channel a solid, hit the button, turn it blue, whatever color it is for you, and, yeah, do that. I'm gonna have some coffee while you guys are doing that. Mm, oh gosh, iced coffee. So good. Jim says, "And the countdown starts." Ah, yep. And, yeah, for those of you new, that countdown, I simply do that, because of, people who do not have premium YouTube, the ones who have commercials. That way there, by the time the countdown is done, so are the commercials. So when I go live on their channel after the commercials, they're not missing any. That's kind of my goal was to make it so they don't miss anything. So, yeah, that's why we have the countdown. Rory says, "Every time I miss an opportunity, I'm calling it the tackleberry move." Yeah. I I know a lot of people probably missed their opportunity on Friday. Heck, just talking to you guys over on Friday and on the weekend, there was a lot of people hoping to see it continue into Tuesday so that they could finally get some buys in, get some buys. Uh, Paul says Palantir was up yesterday after yesterday, but yesterday Hims is down after earnings. That's a whole bunch of yesterdays. Um, yeah, Palantir's been doing fantastic, absolutely, and, um, Hims and hers, I mean, they have been doing good. Paul's been playing them, so yeah, definitely there. Bleak is in the house with a "Hey all." Oh, and I was starting to get I could feel the distraction beginning, so I took a glance over. We got, 2.5 minutes to the bell. Ricardo says, "Good afternoon. I'm pretty happy with the performance of GROY. This has been a stock I've been in and out of the gullah, and now I'm sitting on almost 200% from 118 to 304. Nice, nice. Now, if I remember correctly, I believe it's a uranium stock, but now I have to double check. I have to double check, but I think it's uranium. All right, let's get over here. We don't have a lot of time here for the bell, so this is more or less just a yeah, this is making sure that it is no, it's not. It's gold. It it's a different yellow metal. I at least had the yellow and the metal part right, but yeah, gold. Good old gold. All right, there we go. We have about a minute, roughly a minute to the bell here. All right, the headline that sold it for me is 65% of revenue each year over 5 years, yeah, and I think gold is set to have a solid year. I mean, there's going to be a lot more volatility between now and the end of the year. Probably be a lot more volatility for the next 3.5 years, so that's not a bad time to be sitting in gold, that's for sure. Paul says Bitcoin at 115K a fake out or will it go higher? Sucks when some of your stocks ETFs rely on crypto like IBIT, Strategy, and Sol. Um, yeah, I mean sometimes Bitcoin can be a little bit interesting, a little bit interesting. So, all right, guys, we have about 20 seconds. We have about 20 seconds until uh, we get the thing here. In just a second, I see that Rory's saying the audio's choppy. So there we go. I'm just readjusting the microphone a little bit. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. If I hope it's not choppy, but all right, guys, we are here. The market is closed. Oh, whoa, there we go. Bang, boom. Let's knock things down. Um, hopefully, maybe it could also just be a little gunk in the connection. Who knows? If the audio is choppy for anybody else, let me know. I'm kind of curious to know as we move a little forward. So, if you want to get over to, I want to get back over to Shopify, and we're just going to bring this over. We'll bring the Shopify back up here. Here we go. All right. So as I mentioned, Shopify had their earnings. Actually, let's pull it up here. So right now, they did exceed expectations. obviously, obviously, if they jump 20%, they have to have exceeded expectations. So um, they beat on earnings by 20.61%. That's, uh, that's like, that's big. That's not that's not just beating earnings a little bit. That's beating earnings big time. And revenue, they did beat that as well by 4.95%. And that all translated into, well, as you can see, big that big jump. So, yeah, we're looking at it was almost 20% that their share price dropped today. Their market cap hit, of course, and I mentioned this earlier, 273 billion. So they're now Canada's most valuable publicly traded company. That's not too shabby at all. Now their current revenue, I got a couple little financial highlights that I wanted to sort of just hit on a tiny bit. So their revenue right now is sitting at 2.6 billion US. So USD, that is actually up 31% year to date. Sorry, year over year. That's fantastic. Their gross profit is sitting at 1.38 billion US. That's up 24% year over year. Their net income, 906 million US. Once again, that's just crazy. Last year it was 171 million. So just let that sink in. They've taken it from 171 to 906. And 62% of that income did come from equity investments. So that's fine. That's fine. I mean, I don't care how they get it. I don't care how they get it, but it's still pretty darn cool. Now, there was a lot of concerns this this earnings call. The concerns were that basically Trump had expanded the de minimis tariff elimination. So that basically, if you're shipping a bunch of little things across the border, they weren't getting hit with a bunch of tariffs and duties. Well, he basically removed that, and because of that, they thought that it would be a big impact on Shopify. So there'd be a lot of rising U.S. consumer prices, and in addition to that, also with a weaker U.S. job market, everybody was thinking Shopify was not going to beat expectations. So they were kind of anticipating Shopify to come in weak, but Shopify they reported that there's been no drop in their U.S. demand, and that their sales are actually accelerating, not decelerating when it comes to the services that they offer. This is um, this is huge. This is huge. And they did say that they did notice that merchants have been raising their prices, because of de minimis and all of the other things. But demand has not actually tapered off. It is held firm. That has been very, very good for Shopify. Now, here's this interesting thing looking forward to Q3. Shopify expects mid 20 percentage of somewhere in the mid 20s revenue growth for Q3. So can you imagine another 20% revenue growth? That's huge. And they're saying that, yeah, they basically flew through without any issues. The whole macro tariff uncertainty, it's not really impacting them. And Q2, they exceeded it right across the board. There's no area where anything wasn't exceeded. It's just absolutely fantastic. In addition, in addition to that, there's also some other real positive news that came out in the second quarter. So they have, for example, they have an open generative AI shopping experiences. So that's kind of huge. That's actually really, really big. And they've also got a partnership with Coinbase, stablecoin payment options. In addition to that, guy, they did win a federal court ruling against the CRA. I love it when you beat the CRA. But basically, because of that ruling, it's blocked access to merchant data, which is a a huge win for Blockify, for Shopify. Because I just said block, right? Oh, wow. But yeah, so it went good. It went really, really well for Shopify. And this is fantastic. I like seeing that. I like seeing that big time. Alright, we got the Nightbot. Yeah, yeah, if you guys want a Friday show, the regular. Paul says, "Watching various videos about HHIS, company called ETF, when time to start taking income from RRSP, I sure would be tempted to not be buying and selling various stocks." Alright, did I miss the bell? I think you just did. You might have just missed the bell. It was right at 4. I was dead on. I was dead on. Rory, she did it, but didn't hear it very well. Oh, are you still having, issues? I mean, is anybody else having sound issues? I wanna make sure that it's not me. Like, maybe Rory's connection, but, yeah. Jim says, "Shopify might have warehousing and boxing facilities in Canada." Interesting, yeah. Rory, voice keeps fading out. Maybe I'll refresh. Yeah, try that. Oh, well, no, maybe it might just be the internet. It might be the internet. Sue says choppy. Uh-oh. Ah, that's not good. It could be me. Maybe my connection is choppy. If a couple of you are hearing it as choppy, that might be what's going. Oh gosh. Well, let's hope it fixes itself. Let's hope it fixes itself. Um, let's see here. I know. Let's see what I can do. Let's come up here for a second. All right, guys. I'm gonna disappear for a second. I'm gonna just reset. I'm gonna reset my connection. I'm gonna reset my connection and see if it fixes things. So, um, I will actually disappear for a second. It'll still hold things. It'll still hold things. All right. I've never had to do this before, but I'm gonna disappear at count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Sort of 3. There we go. Okay. I have now I left StreamYard. I've gone back in to see if that will reset the audio. Let if you can hear. All right. There we go. Now I did lose my shared screen in the process. So we'll get that fixed up here in just a second. Let me all right. This here. It's worse. What? No, not worse. That's never good. That's never good. Um, that's weird. Okay, better. Better. All right. Okay, better. That's good. All right. I'm gonna go with my share screen. I have to bring back up our I gotta bring back up our thing here. Let me just pull up the screen, share screen window, and I want Shopify. There we go. There we go. All right. Everything's back. Everything's back. Hopefully, all right. I think that I'm getting that it is working. Rory, how about with you? Nope. Paul says it's still choppy. Still choppy. Uh-oh. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Um, yeah. Yeah, I just did a thing here. Let me try something else. I'm going to. Ooh, All right, I've just rebooted the actual mic itself to see if that will do anything, to see if that will do anything. Wow, we're like this long before, but, it looks like we have. Okay. All right, now, I just need some more input here if it is working as we're trying to resolve this. Holy banana bread. Oh boy. Whew. All right, and I guess I should keep on talking. Otherwise, it's kinda hard for you guys to tell if it is actually, working. I'm gonna come back to the big thing. All right, let's see here. Let's see. Paul says audio kind of in and out, like when I do not hear all the words my wife says and I misunderstand her. Oh my gosh. What the heck? Um, hmm. Yeah, I probably should still missing words. Okay. Now Tim says the sound is good. So the sound is good for Tim after updating Firefox. Oh boy. All right. All right. Yeah, I just don't want I wanna get that I wanna get it fixed. Because yeah, it's audio will sync a live stream really fast, really, really fast. All right. Now what I could do is, um okay, and Adewana says, "It's good on my end. Now it's better." Okay, maybe it was just some isolated thing. Okay, good. Because I was like, "Do I" I was like, I didn't wanna have to go and, reboot the whole router because I was thinking, it'd be nothing on the screen for, like, 3 minutes, so but alright, alright. Hopefully things are looking a little bit better now. So, okay, and Jersky saying, "Sounds good here." Sue saying, "Better." Okay. Alright, I think we got that fixed. Holy banana bread. Alright, guys, I did wanna point something out. Let's just head over awesome, for a moment. So this here is the 0 to 100K challenge, thing. So I have updated believe it or not, I updated my Friday buys already. So on Friday, I did add some shares. I did buy the dip on, CNQ, um, EXE, and QDay. So that is all in there right now. So here's CNQ, for example. Just bring this in. So, oh, they've been struggling a little bit, and I think it's gonna continue. I think I'm gonna have lots of buying opportunities, but and this is not what I actually wanted to talk about. Um, let's wanna hit over here for a second here. Wanna bring up, good old Air Canada. So Air Canada is starting to get to, I'm eyeing them for another swing trade. So, as you guys know, in the past, I have done and I'm gonna pull up the 3-year here. I've been playing these. I've been playing this. So, the last time, I think I actually have an adjusted cost base down under 14 or around 14. So yeah, Air Canada has been very predictable. It's been a good target. Now, one of the things that had me concerned was that the not the last earnings, but the earnings before they announced their share buybacks. They're buying back 10% of their share over the next year, and we've already seen some of that happening. Now, that will, of course, help push that price up. So here's my concern. I know we're not going back down to 13, not with the share buybacks. I kinda looking at my area, and I'm thinking what I'm gonna do for this is I think I'm gonna use $18 as my target. So I think as long as they go under 18, I'm gonna start a new swing. So if they go and then I will do a sale at, I'll sell at, probably 21. So it'll be a 3 well, it'll be worst case, it will be $3. It'll be a $3 swing, but obviously, if it's under 18, I mean, 16 is under 18, so, I'll definitely keep averaging down while it's under 18, but now, mind you, we have not yet hit there. Right now, we're sitting at 67. However however, um, apparently the on-air staff, like your stewards and stewardesses have voted for strike action. So there could be some strike action going on Air Canada that might push them down into that target. So I'm gonna be watching them, um, because I think there's a possibility. I think there's a possibility that it can happen. So, um, just something I'm keeping in mind, and I know that, I think, Tom, I don't think Tom is here right now, but I know Tom is behind it as well. So it's something I'm keeping in mind. Just wanted to kinda update you guys on that a little bit. Let's see. Oops, when you change the screen, the audio chopped out. Now still chopping in and out. Really? I wonder if it's the s oh, maybe there's something going on with StreamYard. Maybe it's StreamYard. Alright, if I go big screen, without sharing, that's where I think you said it was a little bit better when I was big screen. So, that's interesting. I don't like that at all. Oh, boy. Rory says $15 target for a swing with Air Canada. Um, 15 I think is low. I don't see them getting to 15. So that's kind of the thing. Maybe they'll wick to 15, but 15 would definitely be the basement. So, yeah, I'm going a little higher when it comes to the swing. Audio doing the chop, yes, choppy. Yeah, it's still in and out audio. Do you have control for voice gate that turns off the audio when you are not saying anything? Um, it doesn't give me a lot of control here, but, let me just pull up. I'm just gonna pull up a few little audio things here, see if there's anything that we can do at all. Let me just take a look here. Alright, well, I do have let's see here. Alright, echo cancellation, background noise, okay, automatically adjust mic volume. Alright, I'm gonna remove that just for now. We'll see what that does. So I'm not letting it have any control over the mic volume, and we'll see if that works. So if that does it, then fantastic. If not, there's another feature in there I could play with for sure. And yeah, so in other words, yeah, the screens don't seem to have anything going on here. Interesting. Interesting. I don't like this at all. This should not be a stream about sound, but it's kind of this is, I think, the first time we've ever had a serious sound issue like this. So what can I say? Danielle says, "I cashed some good profits on my gold stocks, and I just don't know where to invest. Everything is so high. Thinking bank would like to add, a CAD ETF. Already have VDY and VCE. Any thoughts?" Yeah. I mean, right now, everything is kinda high. That's why Friday was nice 'cause but there are some stocks that are down, like so the last video I did, and, how often do you shut down and then, start your computer? Um, yeah, when it needs it, not 'cause I mean, the problem is now with most computers, you're supposed to leave them running. Now, I do have it go into sleep mode, for the night, but every so often I do a complete shutdown. and I probably should do it before the next stream just in case. But because it's a Mac, it doesn't have the kind of virtual memory, issues that you get with Windows PCs, but, nonetheless, yeah, I'm gonna do that before the next stream, whether that be, Friday or Sunday. So, yeah, absolutely. Oh, speaking of streams, not this Thursday, but a week from this Thursday, we have the next of the This Week, conversations. So Adriano from Passive Income Investing is gonna drop on by, and we're gonna talk everything about income investing, passive income, return of capital. We're gonna hash it all out. It's gonna be fun. It's going to be fun. Jim says I had BDY, but I sold it so I could get Q-Day. Okay, fair enough. All right, going back to Danielle though. Pull this up here, and so the infrastructure video, one thing I wanna show you is we're just gonna look at Bird for a second here. Sorry, BDT. Alright, so I love Bird Construction. It's one of my favorite stocks right now, and what the banana bread is this? Oh, I must have accidentally hit into, alright, we'll try this one more time. There we go. I think I accidentally hit the ad on the way in. But I wanna look at the 1 year. So, let's actually go we're gonna go to the 3 years. So you can sort of see that with Bird, um, they have had a pretty steady move up. Now, one of the things I'm excited about Bird Construction is that they have I don't wanna say they have an in with the government, but they do a lot of government contracts. So they have, they're good at picking up government contracts now, and these are all infrastructure, construction, um, all of that good stuff. Now, as we move into more building overall, and there's gonna be a lot of building, then yeah, yeah, then we're going to be this is going to look interesting. You're gonna people I have a feeling that a year from now, 2 years from now, 3 years from now, I will have people saying, "Gosh, I sure wish I got Bird Construction back when it was in the $28 dollar range." So, this is one I'm not telling you to go buy it, Danielle, I wanna be clear on that. I'm just saying this is one of those things that I like to look at. I like to look at stuff like this. I like to look at where its price could go, and this is one I think at $28, I think this is a steal. I think it is gonna be going up, big time over the next while. So if you're looking especially if you're looking long-term investment, I think this is a no-brainer. So just that's just one option. Now that's not an ETF though, and you were mentioning ETF. Um, one I'll give you one ETF I think is actually pretty good. XST. So this one right here, this is the iShares S&P TSX Capped Consumer Staples Index. So, this is not one of your big flashy income ETF. This is going to be this will be a growth. Like you do have a tiny dividend, like a tiny dividend, 5.91%. But and I'm gonna pull it up back right here. You can see there's one direction this stuff goes. Consumer staples, no matter how bad the economy gets, people need to eat. People need to continue spending, buying consumer staples. That's why so this is one of these recession-proof, areas. Like this ETF is gonna be holding companies like Loblaws and Metro and, Dollarama, all of the consumer staples, and I see this as I see this trajectory as being very sustainable moving forward. So that's one option I think in the Canadian right now, $60 it's a more expensive stock, but, it's gonna get even more expensive as it moves forward. Speaking of Tom, we were just mentioning Tom, like, quite literally, not that long ago. So Tom's like Air Canada current tasty strike coming. Yeah. So as I mentioned, yeah, the stewardess and stewards, they're looking to go on strike. They did vote for strike act. So yeah, there might be a depression in the pricing of Air Canada at this point. So I did tell everybody else just a moment ago that yeah, $18 is my new upper price range on the next week. So if they go under 18, I'm in, and I will keep stacking while they're under 18, and we will go. So yeah, I am excited. I can new Air Canada swing incoming. I can feel it. I've been feeling it. Danielle says I've been looking at Bird. You have been talking about it. I will look into XST. Thanks. Oh, you're welcome. This is bad again. Faulty. Um, well, it's a Yeti. It's hopefully not. Hopefully not. Um, I do have to tomorrow morning. I have to actually record the next video. And I will know right away if there's a problem with the mic from the recording. So yeah, maybe I need a new mic. We'll find out. But keep in mind that this just started happening, so we gotta do a little troubleshooting to do as well. It could be connection, it could be Rogers because, I am going through, Rogers. So there's definitely a few things to rule out, but, yeah, my recording in the morning will absolutely let me know whether or not we have a mic issue. Um, right now I don't think so, but, you know, until we figure it out, yeah, hopefully. So the other thing is that, and this is kind of making me lean away from a hardware issue, is that if it seems to be coming and going, normally if you've got a hardware issue, it doesn't come and go. It sorta it gets into a steady state very fast, a steady s and then it will tend to get worse too, so we'll have to figure that out. We'll have to figure that out. We won't, we'll short. We won't let this we won't let this streak go too much longer because, yeah, if there's sound issues, I wanna get those fixed. I don't want to be torturing the faithful. I don't wanna be torturing the faithful who are like, "Ah, no, like, my poor ears." Doesn't at least it's not making weird noises now. I did there was another thing here I could try as well. No, there we go. I accidentally muted the mic. It's like you're using the wrong mic. Well, yeah, I think part of it though too is I'm just going back into the settings here. Give me a second here. We'll try this other thing here. Alright, I'm gonna put the automatic adjust back on. Alright, I just got rid of something called echo cancellation. I don't know what that's going to do. Um, we'll see what that does. We'll see what that does. So yeah, like you're using the wrong mic. Oh boy. So yeah, yeah, we'll have to get that working sooner. Like yeah, the mic is the most probably. It's actually interesting. That cleared up right away. Okay, okay. All right. So are we saying that it's working fine now? Is that what you're saying, Rory? So maybe it was the echo cancellation, which it's been on all the time, so I don't know. It's a noticeable difference. Okay, okay. All right, maybe echo cancellation was what was messing things up. All right. Can you unplug the mic card and plug it back in? Well, it's not a mic. Oh, the cord. Yeah. Yeah, I did do that, Paul. And I'll do it again. All right, there we go, Paul. I did that as well. I just re-plugged the mic in. So, all right, we'll see. We'll keep going here. It like normal now. All right, good. Hopefully, all right. Glad to hear that. Glad to hear that. Holy banana bread. Ah, oh boy. Now I definitely need coffee, folks. So, I've a Friday show, by the way. Friday show is we're finally doing another deep dive. It feels like a long time since the last deep dive, but we have Loblaws. Loblaws is doing a 4-to-1 split. So this, and they just dropped their earnings. This is a perfect time to do a deep dive on Loblaws. It's a good one. I like it. It's fantastic. So that is coming up on Friday. So I love that. I love that. And as I mentioned as well, we got the show with Adriano coming up the following week. And yeah, I think it's going to be fantastic. I'm not sure yet what's going to be the next Tuesday video, but what can I say? All right. Any software updates recently? No, absolutely, not really, which is odd. Normally with a Mac, there's updates like all the time, but no updates recently at all. But we'll if this works, if removing the echo cancellation works, then fantastic. We'll move forward with that. Yeah, I think it was something going on. It could be, and this what makes me think it must be StreamYard, because normally the echo cancellation is on, and that's never been an issue. So that's what I think it is. I think something's going on with their echo cancellation software. So by turning that off, we fixed it. We all troubleshot here. This is great. All right. There we go. All right. Yeah, sound is back to normal. All right. I like it. I like it. Oh boy. Yeah. So, all right, let's get back to some questions now that we got the sound out of the way. Is there anything you guys want me to look at, or you got any questions at all? Or do you want me to just ramble on about this, that, and the other thing? All right, let's see. Candace messaged you on Blossom with a question. Oh, okay. I will have to check it out. I have not. Yeah, I don't think I've been in Blossom yet today, but I'll take a gander. And this is the one thing they don't yet have, guys. Because as you guys know, I love the Blossom desktop app. But let's just head back on over in here again. Whoops. They don't have my private messages yet in here. I've got everything else. But yeah, I don't think the mentions will have it. AIS. I've sold all my what? All right, I don't know who that is, but yeah. So normally, and this is guys, if you are over on Blossom, you want to follow me so I can follow you back. Like here, Andrew followed me. I just want to get a follow back to Andrew. Here we go. Come on, Andrew. There we go. Perfect. So yeah, I always will follow you back because that's what I do. I don't go through the normal feed. I like to look at the people who are following me. I like to look at what they're posting. So that way there, when I'm replying to folks or, throwing in my 2 cents, it is, it's stuff that people want to hear. All right. But yeah, I will take a look at that. All right. Let me see here. Michael says, hey, Candace, thank you for producing your video about infrastructure stocks, which included Damen, which I may likely purchase for income. Or sorry, Domain. It's actually funny. I kept calling them Domain for when I was initially looking at them. But yeah, no, actually, somebody asked me in a comment on one of my videos. They said, please do an infrastructure stock video. And I was just like, yeah, I will. Absolutely. So, and that's the thing, guys. When you're leaving your comments, if there's stuff you want me to do, throw it in. Or, you can drop it over on Discord or even over on the Facebook. I'm good. Like a lot of times I will do, I may not do everything. If Like sometimes I get somebody who will, say, "Oh, could you please do a deep dive on this brand new penny stock?" And I'll be like, "No, probably not." But yeah, for the most part, if there's something you really want to see, let me know. Let me know. I can try. I may not be able to do it immediately, but maybe I can. There have been times where somebody's left a message and I happen to see it, and I'm already in my planning. I'm thinking about what I'm going to do my next video, and I'm saying, that's a good idea. Why not? So yeah, leave those, leave all your suggestions, all that fun stuff. Mario's in the house with a good afternoon, everyone. Can you look up life? All right, we can look up life. Let's head on over to life. All right, here we go. So life, this here, of course, is the Evolve Global Healthcare Enhanced Yield Fund. So we'll head down here first. You got a good yield on this, so 12.63% monthly, big monthly, 19 cents a share or a unit. All right, and we're going to come back here. So once again, this is a lot of the big income ETFs, so things like life, you're not really in it for the growth. You're in it for that income, and that's what you're going to get. Now you'll see right now they are, they're at a low compared to where they normally are. So we may see a little bit of a growth in here, but nonetheless, this is still a pretty good. It's a pretty good ETF. I don't like it as I like Bank a little bit better because Bank is giving you some life insurance companies in addition to the banks. But this one is not bad. You are getting a good exposure here. And let's just see here. All right. So yeah, so right here, they're looking at the healthcare sector fueled by steady population. So yeah, you're getting a little bit of everything in life. So you're getting healthcare. Now healthcare, and this is kind of one of the reasons that this is down, is a lot of, especially the U.S. healthcare. There's been a lot of trouble with the U.S. Healthcare. RFK Jr. has not been good for it, and neither has that big beautiful bill. So, this is down. Unlike when you look at Bank, and Bank of course has the life codes, as in life insurance. That's a little bit different. But yeah, once healthcare rebounds, and this is going to be one of the neat things about life, is once we do get a rebound within the healthcare sector, that's where you're going to see this $17 stock move back up to like, $20, $21. So there could be some growth ahead for it. But keep in mind, it is they do use covered calls. So depending on how fast they recover, you could certainly run into a situation where you have a lost upside potential on it. But I do like the fund. It is a solid income fund. If if you're an income investor, or if that's what you're building, absolutely. Let's see. Jay says, I hope the Manitoba lady sued Loblaw for ground beef weight Yeah, I heard about that. That's crazy. Because yeah, if those of you who haven't heard, it was more or less they were including the weight of the packaging when they were putting the charge on the container. So if it was if it was $1.99 a kilogram or a gram or whatever, I don't know how they weigh meat, but they were also including the weight of the packaging. So you were paying a tiny bit more and not getting anything for it other than, well, the packaging. So yeah, and my understanding though is that it's not a systematic problem at Loblaw. It was more or less a couple of stores completely effed it up, but yeah, that is crazy. All right, let's see. Put 15K on XEI last month. Yield came and I only got $58. Is that normal? Sorry, driving. XEI. Let me take a look here. Let's pull up. All right. So XEI, of course, this is one of the iShares. Now, let's see here. Close. There we go. So this is your iShares Composite High Dividend Index ETF. And we'll take a look here. So it's had some healthy growth move to the upside. Now, dividend-wise, 5.156%. But I want to go in and look at something here. Key data. Let's go in here and take a look here. So yeah, their dividends a little bit all over the place. Like some companies have fixed dividend, some companies do not. This is one of these do not. If they make a lot of money, you get a higher dividend. Usually it has to do with the dividends that they're receiving. So sometimes with these companies is you got to remember if they're holding other companies. So if this ETF is holding companies that are quarterly, depending on the way the quarters line up, you could have months where you get really nice dividends and months where you get not so great dividends. So yeah, that's kind of interesting. So in this case here, if you put 15K and you only got $58, that sounds, yeah, that does sound about right. Yeah, considering like, I'm assuming that you're talking about that July 31st because it was one of the lower ones. So it was 11.2 cents per share. So yeah, that sounds about right. I was just like, do I have a calculator here that we could calculate it out? But yeah, that probably does sound right. But you know what? Let's see here. I think I do have a calculator here somewhere. Oh, yeah. I have a light that just fell for my head. All right. But I do have a calculator. I've got an iPad here. All right, give me a second here. All right, so you put in, let's just take a gander here. Where is my calculator on here? On my phone, it's like right front and center. I'm like, all right, calculator. Oh, here it is. Why is it on the third screen? All right, so. All right, let's come in here. So you put in 15,000. And let's take a gander here at how much it was selling for. All right, so I don't know what your adjusted cost base is at the time, but we'll just go with right now for now. We'll go with $29. All right, so that's going to give you about 517 shares. All right. 517 and sorry. We are in the key data. Perfect. All right, and they paid out 11.2. All right. Yeah, that comes to $57.90. Yeah. Oops. You know what? If I go big screen here, here we go. I think I can show. Yeah, $57.90. So yeah, no, that does work out. But now keep in mind that there is just 1 month. So the next month it could be a bit higher if, depending on how their payment looks. So right now they have not declared what the next month is going to look like. But yeah, that's about right. All right. Let's see here. Yeah, Rory says, yeah. All right. Holy banana bread. I got like 0.4%. All right. Got it. All right. Blossom has the correct number of shares, but stopped showing trades for a week now. Maybe unlink broker and relink broker. Interesting. You see, yeah, I can't help you too much there because I do it manually. They do not have an API with National Bank, so you kind of have to do it manually that way. All right. Let's see. Jim says, "Oh, charging for the packaging on food is against the law. Big time. Used to buy totes of tuna, get it processed and packaged. I had to make sure the shop had the proper factory." Yeah, no, absolutely. Should have put it on HMax. Better returns. Yeah, I mean it depends on what you're looking at, but yeah, I mean XEI. You are XEI. There is a growth component to it, so what can I say? Oh dear. I know what I need. I definitely need a second camera because I could set up a second camera to aim it at a calculator when I was doing calculations to make it more interesting, more dynamic, more dynamic. All right. Yeah. Um well, interestingly enough, I got the calculator again. And I'm just gonna quickly do a little calculation here for you. I'm just kind of curious. I'm kind of curious here. All right, so if you had taken your 15K, let's do this here. Your 15K, and let's say you had sunk it into, we'll go Canoe. So with Canoe, you could have had about 980 shares, and that would have given you $98. So because they pay a dime, but they're also a lot cheaper. So yeah, there's a lot of different ones that you could have picked up more cash for, and obviously if you start getting into some of the big covered call ones, you could really knock that number up. Rory says, didn't Lawbuzz do some crazy bread pricing in the past? Yeah, that was a couple of summers ago, I think. Crazy stuff. Yeah, I mean that's what happens when you don't have a lot of grocery stores. Like we have a lot, but a lot of them are owned by the same main store. So, like Loblaws has Real Canadian Superstore. They have No Frills. And there's also a couple of others that fall under their umbrella. So you can, if you work with the other competitors, you can set the prices. You can be like, all right, let's artificially increase these prices. Oh, I need to drag me back over here. Otherwise, it'll make it look like I'm looking to the side when I look to read the chat. But yeah, no, you can control prices that way. And I know that there's been a lot of craziness in regards to that, and it's also big time wrong. So they all deserve fines for that one for sure. Phyllis says, just get in. Have you talked about FTT earnings? I have not. Let's take a look. All right, I can bring up the share here, and we were talking about Shopify earnings. They kind of dominated. They dominated everything, but let's take a gander here. All right, so Finning at International. All right, let's add them. They were on my list. They were on that infrastructure list. So I do like Finning. I did not realize that here we are. Here's some earnings. All right, let's pull them up here. These are not the best earnings. So let's see here. So yeah, earnings wise, they missed the mark. So they came in under expectations by 6.94%, and they also missed on revenue, 4.40%. All right, that's not great. But there's a couple of things there's actually a couple of neat things about this. So you can sort of see they had a little bit of a drop. Actually, this I'm looking at this and I'm like, this would have been a great time to buy because they were in my infrastructure video because I do have a lot of faith in them. And I do think that this is going to be one of these companies that is going to do very well over the next 3 years. Now, here's the nice thing. When you get a drop like this because of the shock, But right away, you start to get a nice green rally like this. That usually is the sign that there's not that, yeah, the investors were a little upset with those earnings, but usually this is a good sign that that's a company that is going to rebound well, and they're doing that. I do like this company. Finning is, I think they're ideally in a good spot to pick up a lot of work when it comes to all of this infrastructure stuff that's coming. So I like Finning. I do like them. I don't like to see. I don't like to see this right after I put them in a list video, but I still stand by putting them in that video, and I do think that they're going to be good. Now, I think my biggest disappointment is like, gosh, I kind of wish I had grabbed some at 54. I did not. I did not, unfortunately, but I wish I had. I wish I had, because that's a good entry point, a really good entry point. Can you revisit UMAX, please, if it's a good buy right now? All right, UMAX. Let's head on into UMAX. We'll drop over here. All right. All right. So Hamilton Utilities Yield Maximizer. So this is the key word, utilities. I love utilities. As the economy has a lot of roughness ahead, and if we go into a recession, utilities are one of those companies that I think are going to do really, really well. So this here is a good one, because this one here is going to provide you with a lot of yield. So this is your income play. A non-income play would be something like the iShares one, XUT, as a capped utilities. I actually hold that one in the challenge. But this here is utilities. I think they're going to do well. Hamilton is pretty well run, so I do like Hamilton overall. Let's just pull up the last year here. Excuse me. All right, so yeah, I mean, they've slid. They've been slowly sliding a little bit. That's fine. Although I will put, I would like to have seen this be a little more sideways, because when you look at utilities overall have been doing a little better. So they have been kind of sliding a little bit less than what utility companies have been doing. And just to give you an example here, I'm just going to pull up I don't want to do that one. All right, let me just do this. I'm going to pull up a typical utility company. Or actually, you know what? Let's not do that. Let's make it a little bit more fair. We're going to pull up XUT, because this will give you a general idea. Close. I always click that open, and then it takes me all over the place. So, all right, and give me a second here. What are we looking at on this one? We're looking at the 1 year. Let's go to the 1 year. Eek, eek. There we go. All right, now this is what utilities is doing. So when I said I would have liked to have seen this at least move flat, that's what I'm talking about. So we have, now mind you, you got a half decent dividend here. So 14.878%. You are making the money, and if you're holding this, you're probably not here for the growth. You're probably here for the income. So from that perspective, this ETF is fine. You're not really, you're not really dropping. So to me, that's fine. But just to show you that difference, when you look at what utilities itself is doing, like this has gone from $26 to $30. It's not too shabby, and it's really interesting too. Is look at this. Here is our Liberation Day. You'll notice here, where's Friday? Where's that little mess that happened on Friday? It's really not even a blip compared to this. So, but yeah, no, it's been good. It's been good. I think utilities is doing really well. But as I said, if you're in here for the income, yeah, there's nothing wrong with it. Okay. Let's see here. Or swing trade. Swing trade only if you're comfortable with it. Jay says Loblaw is also involved with charging a person for charity that he didn't comply with in Quebec, I believe. Okay, okay. I did not get into a lot of these negative little stories in the deep dive, though, guys. Fundamentals, all into the fundamentals. Paul was saying HHIS pays 25 cents a share. Say 300,000 worth don't have that is 23,511 shares and $5,877.75 per month dividend. Others have said only collect, say, 80% and reinvest 20% for inflation. Well, there we go. Yeah, I mean, HHIS is good. I do like HHIS. Retail is beating Wall Street, like FTT selling off by Wall Street and retail buying in after. Yeah, yeah. All right. Let's see. Can you look up Emax? All right. Let's go. Let's pull up Emax. All right. So once again, this is going to be the energy. Now, before I even look at this, I am expecting this to be going down. Energy has been having a rough time, so I expect the same thing here. And let's pull up the last year, and yeah, a little bit of that, and you can sort of see. Well, actually, they haven't been doing that bad after. I assume this here, yeah, Liberation Day. There's the Liberation Cliff. It's Trump's version of Mount Rushmore. There we go. But yeah, they've been moving up a little bit. But once again, this is 14.668. This here is for income. So you have to look at things, and that's kind of this perspective. So with this, this week conversations coming up on the 14th of August. It'll be 3 p.m. Eastern because it's a little bit earlier. I had to cater it to when I could get Adriano on. We're going to talk a lot about passive income and income investing. So, that's one you'll definitely, if you're interested in income, you're interested in dividends, that's one to watch for sure. And, we will, of course, I really want to hit him up on his thoughts on return of capital and share erosion. So we're going to talk about a lot of interesting stuff. I'll put him on the hot seat. Let's see. Gotcha. Another 15K for UMAX tomorrow. Thanks a lot. UMAX was the underlying stock slide down in the same, was the underlying, yeah, we were looking at the exact same time period, 1 year. 1 year for both. Could you check Q Day? You know what's funny? I'll check right here because Q Day is not yet coming up in TMX, so I may have to look at it on Yahoo. Yeah, see, day done. Which is really funny. I think C Day shows up, but we'll go over here to Yahoo. There we go. Q Day. Here we go. Q Day. All right, we'll pull this up here. Yeah. And I'm going to pull this out a little bit. Let's, we'll pull this out to, a month. Yeah, kind of. Well, it hasn't been around for a full month, but let's see here. Has it been? Yeah, it's from about the middle of, I guess we're almost at a month. So yeah, here's Q Day. So, I like my other one better. But I wonder if I can. Let's pull up advanced chart. Ooh, there we go. Can I make it go? I was hoping I had like a dark mode for it. Settings, let's see, customize. No, doesn't appear to be a dark mode. I would have liked to have had a dark mode because then you could see it a little bit better. But yeah, this is C Day. Eek. Make it a little bit. At one point it got up to 25, but right now it's sitting at 24.75. I'm expecting, I think next week is the NVIDIA earnings. I'm expecting tech to get a good punch. a punch, a good pump next week. That'll be good for Q Day. So, and Q Day, the dividends are flowing this in August. So, look for that twice a month. Twice a month. All right. Jim says, I had HMAX. It was slowly going up about a third of the speed as the stocks it held. Yeah, but you have to realize. And let's go back. We'll go back here once again here. HMAX. Here we go. So this is your Canadian financials. And yeah, so when you look at, I'm going to go to the 3-year. You can sort of see a little bit better. You can see the slight bit of movement here. But here's the thing. I mean, you've got that big dividend. You got covered calls happening. You get a lot of things happening behind the scenes here. The strength that we've seen in the market in financials, that you're getting some of that upside potential being pulled off. So that is kind of one of those things. So if you look at the banks, you're going to see them go up a lot faster. But that's, once again, though, and this is the thing, when you're looking at these funds, you can't come into here going, okay, I'm getting this big covered call income ETF that pays, and what is this one? 14%? All right, 13.778%. You can't come in and think that you can't expect to get it all. So you can't expect to get the big dividends and the big growth. It just doesn't happen that way. Occasionally, you might run into it, but usually it's more of a fluke than anything else. So for the most part, you are in here for the income. So if you're looking to build an income portfolio where you want that income flowing, that's what these are designed for. They're designed to give you that income. If you're not interested in the income, and you're just like, I just want the most money possible, well, this is not the fund for that. At that point, you're going to look at something that does not cap that upside potential, that you might still get some dividends, but you're also going to, it's just the way that those work. So you have to kind of keep that in mind. So, and that's the thing. When I look at something like this, I know, like if I'm doing a deep dive on HMAX, I know the total returns are going to be, there will be total returns, because if there's no total returns, then you shouldn't even be in that fund, right? But those total returns are going to be that dividend. And if the market works well for you, you might get a little bit from growth. You might get a little bit, but you're not going to get a ton. You're not going to get a ton, generally. Mario says, can you look up lead by Evolve? Last one. All right. Lead. All right, here we go. So this is the Evolve Future Leadership Fund. All right, now this is actually not bad. This is a pretty good movement up to the upside. Now, I don't know a lot about this fund, but I will say right now, I'm looking at this yield. So that is making me think that we don't have a lot of big stuff happening behind the scenes. So I don't even know if they have, let's see here. To me, I'm thinking they don't have covered calls on this, but I'd have to actually go to their site and take a look. Oh, no, they do. They do have some. The level of covered call option writing may vary based on market volatility and other factors. Okay, that tells me with this fund. So you take a lot of funds, they might say we write covered calls on 33% of the fund, or maybe 50%. What this is telling me is that Evolve is writing covered calls, but they're adjusting them based on the market. So what that would mean is if we had a strong growth going on in the market, they're going to write less covered calls. And the reason they're going to write less is because they don't want to lose a ton of that upside potential. So that will allow them to still grow the stock, and I think that's what we're seeing with this one. So yeah, I like this one. I think it's a good little fund. I mean, yeah, you're only getting a 7.41 or 7.401% yield, but they are managing it so that you are getting some growth too, and that's good. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see what the total return would actually look like. Because I mean, if you look here, it's gone from 15 to 22, and this is just we're just on the 1 year, I think. Yeah, I'm probably going to need it. No, that's a 3 year. On the 3 year, yeah, it's still going quite a bit. Um, Paul says, funny, all these covered call ETF requests today. Dividend guy Mike Hero subject was HHIS covered call ETFs. It was 43 minutes long. Wow. Yes, please talk to Adriano about covered calls, leveraged erosion, MER, etc. I'm 38, but I like income divs, but some YouTubers are saying it is not good because of the fees and erosion. Yeah, well, we'll definitely talk. And guys, I'm gonna try my best. I felt like when we had Brandon Beavis on the channel, I didn't get to as many questions as I wanted to in the chat. So I'm going to try to put a bit more focus on your guys' questions. And of course, I mean, there's always supers if you really desperately need a question answered. But I will do what I can to absolutely try to get as many as we can. And even though it's scheduled for an hour, we'll see if we might be able to sneak a little bit more in. Maybe depends on Adriano. Really, I don't know what his rest of his day looks like. Martin says, cover call strategy will do that. Cap the upside for income. Yeah, absolutely, it does that. And that's why. I mean, it's all about function. It's all about function. So when I look at let's just look at you guys. I'm going to look at you guys. So when I look at the channel and all of the people on this channel, I would say about 60% of you are, actually, that's probably wrong. I'm going to say 40% of you are probably income investors. I would say there's probably another 40% of you that are your dividend growth or total return investors. And then there's 20% of you that kind of want the income and want the growth, and you don't really fit into one or the other. You're kind of floating in between. So that's what I think. And I base this on just the way you guys watch and the watching patterns and all of that. So yeah, I think it's. I mean, and that's why one of the reasons why I try to cater to everybody as best as I can. Obviously, some of my videos, if they're pure income videos, I know that there's about 40% of my base that they might watch. Some of them might because they're like super fans, but some of them are just going to be like, no, that one's not for me. And then the same thing when I do a total return stock, our list. Some of the income people are like, yeah. Some of them, all the super fans will watch, but some of them will be like, yeah, that's not for me. So it's kind of that little dichotomy of the channel. But anyway, it's kind of interesting. I think the people in the middle, this is where you guys have a huge advantage. It's like you kind of understand both. And here's the thing. Through the lifetime of your investing, typically you will start off as that dividend growth investor, and then you'll probably discover dividends and go a little bit crazy into the income side, and then you might filter right back to dividend growth. But then by the time you start getting closer to retirement, you end up changing. You probably end up becoming a dividend, I don't know, sort of an income investor, because then you're creating that income in retirement. Now, there are some people who just happen to have a really great job. They've got more than they can handle when it comes to pensions, and they're never going to need income. So usually people like that, they might still stay a dividend growth in retirement because they're not in it to get income. They're in it to simply put the numbers as high as possible for whoever is going to inherit their efforts. So anyway, yeah, I'm really looking forward to this Adriano interview. It'll be fun. All right, Roy says those ETF yields scare me when they're over 20%. Yeah, I can understand that. Yeah, like the yield max ones, for example, those do scare me. They do. And I know there's some people here who love yield max. And I even the other day somebody asked me to do the UTLY. They said, please do that deep dive on that. I do want to look at yield max again soon, but I don't think I'll do a deep dive on UTLY. I will probably include them in a broader yield max video, but it's going to be fun. Gene says, let's see, CNR goes down a lot. Do you have any idea about this company? Is it time to buy? Thank you. So CNR is one of my favorite stocks. Actually, we can go large screen. CNR is one of my favorite stocks. They are a backbone company when it comes to the supply chain. So in the Canadian supply chain, CN, CP, those are two of the major backbones. And keep in mind, you might think, oh well, do we really need trains? We can just truck all of the stuff. Well, not if you want to truck it cheaply. It Trains are so inexpensive to move stuff compared to trucking and any other method of moving material across the country. So yeah, they're huge. They are very recession proof, and they're going to be fine. Yes, there's been a lot of struggles in the last year. Everything from wildfires to a whole lot of strike stuff that's happened with them. So yeah, they have suffered, and right now they are feeling some of the pain as well from the tariffs, and from some of the cross border shipments because they do a lot of that. So yeah, they're going to be down. They're a good price right now, but they will be back. They will be back. So I think. Yeah, I think these are good. I think these are good prices. I added one last month in the challenge just because they were down. So I do like these stocks, and I think they're going to be fine. Let's see. When I looked up Lead, it has a few funds in it. Okay, interesting. I haven't actually looked at that. Like I said, I haven't looked at Lead, so maybe they're holding a few other funds. But that is interesting. All right. Let's see. Bought some CP yesterday, $100 per share. I think that's a good entry point. Yeah, no, that's not bad. Like I think, and this is one of the things to say. Like I think CP, I think they're probably going to outperform CNR in the short to midterm, but I think long term CNR is going to win that race. A lot of it was CN, and this is the big advantage that they have is once we start opening up more and more infrastructure into critical minerals up north, CN is the only one who has the tracks up there. It's their show. They're going to be the ones hauling it all back. They're going to make a lot of money doing that. So that's going to be huge for CN. Yes, CN does have access to Mexico. CP has access to Mexico. CN does have access all the way down to the Gulf, but the CN really wanted wanted Kansas City Southern, but it would have made them too big. The regulatory board said no, but yeah, it's gonna be interesting. All right. Emrit says, is Q Day or one of the other days do you recommend for the TFSA? I was doing some math where if you have, say, let's say 100 shares, then you would be earning almost a share every distro day. Yeah, that makes sense. I like Q Day right now. Now, once again, it is an income play. It is an income play, so you are going to get some growth, but it will not be as big as it would be from holding just straight up tech. But you're going to have those dividends are going to come out quick, and they're going to come out twice a month. And if you're reinvesting them, then you may not keep up with tech, but you'll be pretty darn close. Yeah, no, I do like Q Day, and right now, I mean, there's a lot of big things happening behind the scenes in AI. ChatGPT 5 is expected to come out this month. I even heard rumors that it could come out today or tomorrow. So I have not yet looked, but maybe it's already out. I don't know. But I have heard rumors that, there's some really big stuff on the background. And keep in mind, ChatGPT just released Agent, and they also released an open source AI as well. I think that was yesterday. So there's a lot of interesting stuff going on right now. And it's going to get big. It's going to get really interesting really fast. All right, guys, if you got your last minute questions, now's the time. Oh my God, we're at an hour and a half. I'm not counting that 15 minutes when we were having problem with the sound, though. We're not counting that. So, but we're almost at the end. We're almost at the end. Drop in your questions. Let's wrap this up. We'll bring the plane in for a landing. All of that fun stuff. Oh gosh, this is so good. Whew. All right. And as I mentioned before, we have Loblaws coming up as a deep dive on Friday. I haven't yet decided what the Tuesday video will be, but we'll be back here again as well on the weekend for this week. Speaking of AI, I think BB will get back up. Yeah, BlackBerry. BlackBerry is not really an AI play, but they're a quantum play. So quantum computing is coming. AI is huge when it comes to some of the quantum encryption and security. I think BlackBerry is going to be a very interesting stock. So yeah, I do like BlackBerry on the long. So yeah, while it's down, while it's still low, I don't think it would hurt. I don't think it would hurt. If you're looking for something long term, I think BlackBerry will explode. Because keep in mind, quantum is the next, after AI, quantum is up next on the stage, tech-wise. And it's not like AI will go away, but you will get to a point where quantum and AI are going to come together. Oh boy. Oh, this world is going to be so interesting. All right. All right, guys. Yeah, we're at 132. I think that's good enough for now. We will be back again on Sunday, and it'll be, I'm sure it's probably going to be a fantastic show. Last Sunday was awesome. All right, guys. Until next time, enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll bid you farewell. Bye-bye.